Hey everybody out there, my name is Dragnix, and this is Card Hunters. This is a free-to-play game that you do get extra cash in terms of the Humble Bundle for the 3rd tier this week, that along with scrolls and some other card games and board game-like portions. I do want to highlight this one because, surprisingly, I've actually been sort of addicted to it. I mean, I've been having some fun with it. I did some stuff over in Tech Raptor, the hunt segment that I've been working on, that, you know, I'll put a link in the below. You'll know some of the content because, you know, I do take the experiences that I have during the week and try to use them there too. So, we're going to play the White Star mission, and we're going to show you exactly what this game has to offer. Now, we're the White Star mission, regular adventure, complete this for experience and bonus loot. So, we are 3 adventurers in sort of a Dungeon and Dragons type setting, board game type setting. So, here we go. So, we have our 3 heroes and monsters that we have to deal with. Each turn, or each round, I should say, you will draw cards. And you can play one of those cards from any one of your heroes during that turn. So, I'm going to play, let's see here. Well, my healer doesn't exactly have a lot to do in terms of attacking. Dwarf can't really go anywhere. My sorceress, though, probably can move my sorceress. So, I'm going to move my sorceress around. Then the enemy goes, and they played a buff card, which, let's take a look at what that card does. Attach the target at the start of each round. Heal 2 to all adjacent allies. Okay, that could be problematic. But we shall move the dwarf. So you move your guys around the field to try to get into position to attack. Obviously, position makes a huge difference because they may be able to attack you or vice versa. In addition, position in terms of where a person is facing can also make a difference in terms of blocking and things like that. So, we're going to take a look here. I don't have much I can do other than I'll do a force cannon here. That would usually push him back, but he's against the wall, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, and he came forward anyway, so I will force him back with a little push there. And not much else I can do with this round. I guess I can do a healing pulse, but all my guys are healed. Oh, lunging bash. Okay, so he took a little bit of damage. I'll heal him up. Now, I can pass here. And the thing is that I can keep 2 cards per round. So I'm going to actually pass and see if he passes. He does. So I have to discard 2 cards for the next round. Or down to 2, I should say. I'll discard my mail. Because I do want to keep the attack portions. Alright, so again, so now the dwarf started off with a little bit more, mostly because he had more cards to work with. Frenzy is a holy card. It actually makes my attacks a little bit stronger, so I'm going to place it on the guy there. He heals up. Considering that I want him to come to me, I'm actually going to run over here and try to... Oh boy, that may have been a mistake. I'm going to arcane spray this guy. Deal some damage to him. Now, our sorceress is a little bit squishy, so we got to be careful about putting her in danger, which is what I just did, which is sort of silly. All right. They're not buying the bait here, so I'm just going to walk him over that way. All right, simple strike. I'm doing that specifically because he could have armor or a blocking mechanism. So, blocking in terms of being attacked. I could be blocked if I'm in front of somebody. So let's say I'm in front of another character. They can attack me. I could block it with this card, and then it gets used and thrown away at that point. Now, if I attack from the back, that's not the case. All right, I'm going to cut here. Oh, down to 1. Darn. I really don't want to use my pressing bash because that's a pretty powerful card. So I'm going to actually end my turn here. Hope that I can get a smaller poke card because I don't want to waste it on a guy who only has 1 HP. So the strategy here is multifold, especially with the way that the enemies come up in terms of the different scenarios in question. They've been a lot of variety. This one's pretty more straightforward, but it's been interesting to see what kind of scenarios they press them. Sometimes you'll have scenarios where your whole goal is to just get out at that point, not actually attack anybody. All right, I'm actually going to do a pen lunge here, which I'll move and then attack. Good. Okay, he's running. I may have to move her back. Let's move her back because I don't want her in danger. She's low on health. I am going to short spark though. Some of the electric, each of them have a little bit of elemental portions. Like electric have hard to block mechanisms, and like fire may have like lasting effects. So I'm gonna heal up my sorceress here because she's pretty hurt. Acid Blast. This will actually make a tile acid, and anybody who stays on that at the end of the turn is in trouble. I see. I was able to block that attack thanks to Hit the Deck, and Hit the Deck seems to have a secondary ability. If I can... Sometimes it's hard to... Okay, let's just attack. There we go. So, simple gameplay, but fun nevertheless, and good for a free-to-play game. Now, I am worried that I'm going to hit this wall in terms of, you know, the typical paid-to-win wall. It hasn't hit that point yet, even though the things have ramped up, and the things have ramped up in a way that I would expect it to. Now, I can always go back to other ones and get more experience. It seems like a good balance here right now, and I'm actually really interested to see how far I can go in this. All right, this is a card called Holy Presence. I can actually play orange cards immediately at the start of the round, and I actually draw another card when I do that. They're usually good effects. There are black ones that are bad effects that usually come across in terms of like, okay, you tripped. So, let us able stab here. He's gonna bludgeon me, but I blocked it. No, I didn't. All right, lunge thrust. I'm gonna take out this guy. He's gone. That gives me a victory point. In basically, you got to get the victory points at this point. So, Chop actually does multiple damage to multiple users, so I actually probably want to use that when two people are close. I'm gonna move her there and put some stone spikes down. She got hit, but was able to deal with it. Let us run over here. Heals, and let us chop. Does 2 damage. So you have a variety of ways that you can set up your heroes to, you know, maybe you want to focus on multi-damage, maybe you want to focus on smaller sets of damage, so on and so forth. So, all right, I don't really have any other move. Well, actually, no, I do have a move. I'll let him come to me, and I'll walk my guy over. Okay, I parried. That's good. And because I parried with that card, I was able to get another card in question, and that should take care of him. Excellent. Ouch. Getting hit there, but that's all right. Gonna walk my dwarf over a little bit more. Pass. I'm not sure why he ran onto the spikes. That's actually gonna hurt him a lot starting the next round. So yeah, but good balance in terms of powers. Good balance in terms of difficulty and fairness. And that's even beyond the extra cash that you started off with in the game. All right, I'm going to take out this guy right now. It's great to take out enemies right away. All right, let us... he's pretty low, and he can heal. We probably want to focus on him. So I'm going to walk over there and focus on damaging him. Oh, she's really hurt. She's really hurt. Gotta get her out of danger. There's no way to bring people back at this point, so you really need to focus on keeping them alive. So, okay, we will cut again. He should almost be dead. Not sure why he decided to do that. And lunge thrust. He can't block because it's behind him, and 2 points. Cautious, gonna run. And I think that's all I can really do at this point. Get rid of the reliable hide. And this is a good background game while you're watching YouTube videos such as this one, for example. All right, so I've got abilities here like discarding all enemy-controlled cards attached to affected characters. Attack Soldier means I can give somebody a bludgeon card, but that sort of can have negative effects at times. So I'm gonna run. This is interesting. First, I'm gonna quick step because that actually just allows me to, you know, activate it right away. Gonna penetrate that. Gonna little zap you. I'm gonna attack soldier and give it to my dwarf. And he's gonna bludgeon. And there's not much else I can do here. I'm gonna get her out of the way. That was blocked. Good. Let's get her completely out of the way. Yeah, let's pass now. Now, you always get a run card or some kind of movement card at the start of your turn. So keep that in mind when you're discarding cards, because that makes a huge difference. Okay. Simple bash. There we go. He's running. Jump soldier. I can push a target to a certain location. So like sort of like a telekinesis kind of move. Let's see. Spark. I can get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. It wasn't able to absorb that damage. All right. I'm going to frenzy my dwarf. Also, I'm going to well, no, I'm actually going to move you more towards them so that you'll get the effect of healing pulse, which heals everybody for 2. And then I'm going to run, move you here. Gonna walk you over. There we go. Bludgeon. And I'm gonna have to pass at this point. All right. Simple enough, right? And this is the game. This is the typical game progression, and it is nice. It is fun, to be honest with you. Now, when you beat a dungeon, you will get loot. You will open a chest. There is like a reward, like for the Humble Bundle, that you'll get an extra item, which is part of the free-to-play or pay mechanic in this game. But what I wanted to note is this. This is your equipment. Your equipment determines what cards that you will have. You can make a character which is very dependent on a certain type of card, depending on the equipment that you have. So, for example, I've given him equipment that can bash, that can stab, and things like that. Or I could have characters that may be focusing on completely shock-based attacks, rather than, let's take another look here. Let's look at some other stabs. Like here, a fire spray attack, or, you know, actually bludgeoning, or, you know, magma spray, things like that. So you can actually really customize your characters in terms of what kind of skill set they have. You'll notice these little orbs. Once you get a certain level, you'll get power tokens, and those are sort of your more powerful items, but you have to spend a power token in order to use it. So, like, for example, there's a more powerful item here that I have, like the gray leather boots. They're a lot better than my possessed shoes, but because she doesn't have a orb in question, I can't use them. So that's pretty much it.